Hey, fatty, get skinny. Get skinny. I'm starting to see that it's actually simply a limiting belief. A lot of people talk themselves out of getting skinny before they even start. You're scared to get skinny. You're literally scared to lose weight. For whatever reasons, maybe like, oh, if I get skinny, that means my life's going to change. Okay, that means I might lose some of my fat-ass friends. Okay, maybe you don't trust a dieting strategy that you know damn well will work, but you talk yourself out of it. Oh, that low-fat diet. I need fat for my hormones. I need fat for my hormones. Fat-ass peg. So then you don't even start. Get skinny. Okay, get skinny and then see if you need fat for your hormones. Okay, you already know what most people have their skinny diet that they know works. But they're too scared to even do it. Okay, there's a lot of people who could pull off some pretty long fasts. They could do a meal a day. They're scared to lose the weight. Okay, they talk themselves out of the weight loss before they even start anything. Oh, but I might lose muscle. But I might lose this. I might lose that. Okay, I might lose my period. Okay, I might get flaccid. Okay, I might not get morning wood anymore. You already talked yourself out of shit. If you actually have the mindset and the conviction to getting skinny. Okay, that's the word. That is the word. Skinny. Small. Smaller. Then all of a sudden, you'll break all these barriers, these limiting beliefs. Okay, for the men a lot of times, it's like, well, I want to lose weight, but I don't want to lose muscle. Okay, they literally are scared to even get lean. That's why they're not getting lean. It's not that hard. Okay, whenever I'm trying to get really lean, when I have conviction and a real goal to get lean, it's a joke. Okay, it's a joke. Because you make that choice. It's like, well, I know if I get really lean, I'm probably going to lose a little bit of strength on pushing movements. So then maybe you should just do body weight training so it doesn't screw with your head. Shit like that. You change your whole routine based on that goal to get skinny. Okay, even myself, when I'm lean, I'm skinny. Okay, I look way smaller with clothes on. Okay, there's guys that are scared of that. Oh, I'm going to look small. Well, that's the thing. You're going to have to get small to get lean, you idiot. Unless you're on a pile of gear. Women, the issue, a lot of them is going to be my hormones. Or even the clapback of being skinny nowadays. Getting skinny shamed. And you know damn well when you get skinny, all your fat-ass pig friends, you're going to have to make new friends. Okay? So it's the way it is. Bye. Bye, boat anchors, you fat pig boat anchors. See, weight loss is really to do with this, the psychological factor of actually making that switch to just lose the weight. It's not that hard, especially when you're morbidly obese. Okay, I'm not even talking about getting ripped here. So I'm just talking about not being a fat ass. You like being a fat ass, fatty, that's your problem. You like it. You like being a fat ass more than you like being skinny. Nothing tastes as good as skinny feels. You heard that before, haven't you, pig? You need to make that shift. A good example, for example, like even the fruitarian vegans. Okay, do you think they're scared of getting skinny? Some of them get down to 50 pounds. Because their purpose is different. Okay, they make that shift. They don't give a shit about losing anything. They don't give a shit about losing muscle. They don't give a shit about losing their period. They don't give a shit about anything except not eating animals. And if they put the brakes on before they hit 50 pounds, they would have been fine. If they would have just put the brakes on, but they don't because they get deep into that purpose. For whatever reasons there is. So limiting beliefs are literally scared to get skinny. You're scared. Because people talk you out of it. These fat pigs on the internet talk you out of it. They're like, what about your hormones? They're like, bye-bye hormones and shit. You fat asses. Maybe get somewheres. Maybe get to a radical ass skinny body weight before you even think of, like, see what happens. See what happens, dummy. You don't even start. You don't even start. Most of you idiots already know how to lose basic weight. General weight loss to get to an excellent body weight. Okay, getting really ripped is another ball game. Especially if you're trying to hold on to muscle. But even that, if you're not worried at all about holding on to any muscle, shit. Low fat, cut the fat right out, and go super low protein, straight carbohydrate, and getting skinny. With relative ease. Now, that's where you juggle the carbs and the protein ratio. If you want to get skinny with the maximized muscle mass, it's going to be a bit different. You might have to run a little more lean protein and a little less carbohydrate. It's easy. And then you throw in the meal-a-day diet. Every one of you can do a meal-a-day diet. Push the fast. Doesn't have to be a meal a day. But you push the fast. Push the fast. Push the fast and have a bite. Okay, another limiting belief is the calorie count being rock bottom. You're literally scared of the calorie count. Let's say you fasted all damn day, all right? Let's just say you fasted all damn day because you're a fat pig, no hunger, got in some steak, 2 salts, had some 0-calorie drinks. It's 8 p.m. and you have like 1 chicken breast and a baked potato. The calorie count's literally like 500 max. You're not hungry. You have a pile of salt. You're scared of that number being that low on the day. You're fat. See, that's a huge limiting belief. Because there is some good dieting strategies that will run the calories through the floor. The leaner you get, the hungrier you'll get down the road. You fat pigs, there's no hunger. Your hunger's a joke. You don't know what hunger feels like until you get stripped. But that's a limiting belief. You're scared of the calories being rock bottom and you're not even hungry. So then you just eat more for no fucking reason. Imagine going all day on nothing, feeling great because you're so fat, and then you have like a chicken breast and some berries and a potato or whatever, like a low-fat meal, some salt. It's like literally 400, 500 calories, and actually not having your little limiting belief and just going to bed on that shit. Insane fat loss on the day. Restart your next day. But you are scared of the calorie count being that low. In your mind, you're like, because you listen to all these mouthpieces, they're like, oh, the calories are too low. That's going to tank your metabolism. You're fat. All these things that you fat pigs are worrying about, you know where that comes from? That comes from the ripped crowd. The people that are diced and shredded. That's what you start hearing from people that are already leaner than hell, having some of those problems. They're ripped and lean. Some of them might have a problem like that because they're so fucking ripped. But that carries through to everybody. That doesn't apply to you fat asses at all. It doesn't even apply to somebody that's a male that's like 18% body fat even, which is a pretty good body fat percentage in general. Or a woman that's like 25% body fat. See, it's funny that these hormone tanking, this verbiage, what about your hormones? Low calories are going to tank your metabolism. Blah, 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 blah. That shit comes from people that legitimately might have that issue because they're fucking ripped. Like that literally comes from the bodybuilders that are ripped. And then you fat pigs hear that like think it applies to you, you idiot. So now that creates a bunch of limiting beliefs. You're scared to just simply lose general weight because of that shit. There's truth to that stuff. When you're ripped, there's truth to losing muscle when you're doing a diet that once you're ripped, okay, especially if you're doing a zero fat, low protein vegan diet for a prolonged period of time, there's truth to maybe losing muscle mass for sure over a long time. But even in the short run, truthfully, even in the short run, zero fat, low protein, high carb vegan diet, you're not going to lose shit for muscle in the short run. You'll be ripped. It's hanging out at a ripped body weight for a long time on that low protein diet. If the protein's that low, you don't even have to have the protein that low, and you can still do a vegan diet with enough protein and not lose muscle. But you just throw your lean meat in. That verbiage comes from people that have been lean for a long time. You see pictures of it. You'll see some fruitarian that's like 50 pounds. And you'll be like, whoa, look what happened to her. That ain't you. You're nowhere near that. You'll see some bodybuilder that might be doing a crazy high lean protein, the old chicken breast and broccoli diet. And that guy's energy is not great, and his hormones are tanked at like 4% body fat. That ain't you, idiot. Shit, you could run that lean low carb routine if that was your choice. Low fat. That drags the calories to the floor. It's always low fat. You just piss with the carbs and the protein depending on what your body composition will look like. You fat pigs, none of that shit applies to you. You're scared to get skinny. Maybe get skinny first and then get scared, you idiot. Okay, maybe be like, shit, I'm looking skinnier now. And then maybe you still feel great. Okay, you're good. Okay, all this bullshit with the hormones and the muscle, specifically hormones, muscle mass, all that shit. Energy level, all that shit. That is coming from people that actually matters to. Okay? People that are already leaner than hell. That ain't you. That's like the top 0.00001%. As soon as you can switch that switch on where it's like, I'm getting skinny. I'm not going to worry about any of these limiting beliefs. I'm a fat ass. Cole says because I'm a fat ass, I can basically cut the calories to the floor. Lean meat, whole food carbohydrates, and you just juggle those two however you want. If you want proteins higher, carbs, so like very high protein, low carb would be like a bodybuilding prep diet with a trade-off. You'll hold a lot of muscle, but the energy won't be there. Maybe you got low protein, crazy high carb like your vegan runner, vegan cyclist. Then the muscle ain't quite there, but the energy's very high. Maybe it's somewhere in the middle. But as long as you're fat, shit, your risk of muscle loss when you're fat big is like nothing. Your risk of energy loss is nothing. You're fat. Stop applying verbiage that only applies to people that are literally leaner than hell. To your fat pig ass idiot. Until next time, practice blocking out all these limiting beliefs that are scaring you from losing weight and focus on one thing. Get skinny! Fatty!